Okay, we're in the last part now of Unit 6. And honestly, this last part is super simple. You've already done all the work for this. You're just now putting a name to it. So when we're talking about minimum or maximum values, you're talking about the y-coordinate of your vertex. Okay, so the top point or the bottom point, depending on how your parabola opens up. Okay, so your vertex is going to be either the very top if your parabola opens down, or it will be the very bottom if your parabola opens up value. Okay, and so whatever the y value is there, that's your maximum or your minimum. Okay, it's pretty simple. So I'm just going to show you how to find it, but you already know how to do it, so we'll just show you what exactly you're looking for. Okay, so here they have the equation y equals 2 times the quantity x plus 4 times x minus 2. Okay, this is on page 14, halfway down, the last part. Okay, so to decide whether you have a maximum or a minimum, you just need to know whether your parabola opens up or down. And we already talked about how to find that out. It's all about your a value, right? So in this case, our a value is positive, so that means that our parabola is going to open up. And since it opens up, okay, it's going to look like this, right? Okay, that means that you're going to have a minimum because the y for your parabola is going to be the very bottom part. Your vertex is going to be the very bottom of your parabola. Okay, so your vertex in this case will be the minimum. Okay, so now all you got to do is find your vertex. So what you have to do is you start out by finding your axis of symmetry, or your x value. Okay, and so how did we do that? We did p plus q over 2, right? So x equals p, and in this case p is negative 4, right? And q is positive 2. So we got negative 4 plus 2 over 2, which gives us negative 2 over 2, which is negative 1. Okay, so we're halfway there. And then you plug it into the equation. And whatever you get on this next part is what your minimum value is going to be in this case. So y equals 2 times negative 1 plus 4 times negative 1 minus 2. So you got 2 times 3 times negative 3. 2 times 3 is 6 times negative 3. And here you have negative 18. So y is negative 18. So your minimum value of your parabola is negative 18. That's it. Okay? That's all you have to do. So it's the first two steps of what we've been doing for the last couple sections. Okay? And so as soon as you find that, you're done. Okay? Now, in some cases, okay, if you were to have a negative a, that would be your maximum value. And if you have a positive a, it's going to be your minimum value. Okay, that's really all there is to it. So try these a shot. It should be pretty quick. Okay, first example, we have y equals negative x plus 6 times x minus 2. Alright, and so your a value is this negative or negative 1. So that means that our parabola is going to open down. So that means that we are going to have a maximum value, okay, because it's at the top. Okay, p is, it says positive 6, so p is going to be negative 6, and q is going to be 2. Okay, so let's figure it out. X equals p plus q, so we got negative 6 plus 2 all over 2. That gives us negative 4 over 2, which is negative 2. And then plug it in. Y equals negative 2 plus 6 times negative 2 minus 2. Solve that. Negative 4 and negative 4. So this gives us positive 16 for our y value. So our maximum equals 16. That's it. Okay, done with that one. Pretty simple. Let's move on to the next. Okay, so our a value is positive, so that means it's going to open up. So we are looking for a minimum. Okay, and so we have x equals -1, so it's 1 plus 5 over 2. So that is 6 over 2, which equals 3. Plug that in. Y equals 3 times 3 minus 1 times 3 minus 5, which equals 3 times 2 times -2. We got 6 times -2. -12 is our minimum value. Okay, pretty simple. Alright, let's go on to the last one. Alright, they tricked us with the last one here. Okay, they didn't put it in the same form. But hopefully you remember the last video we did, and this is called the vertex form, remember? Okay, and a couple things to remember in here. The 3, okay, is your x value. Okay, so that's your h, and x is equal to that value right there. Okay, and here's the tricky part. Okay, ready? The k on the end, okay, k is k is your y value in your vertex. So your vertex, remember, it's h comma k. Well, that's a bad k. So here's the deal. Okay, your parabola opens up because that's positive, and so your minimum value, we don't even have to figure anything out, is right there. The minimum is 4. There's your y. Okay, so you are hoping for some vertex form equations. Okay, if you don't get them, you got to do a little bit of work, but man, that's pretty simple right there. There's your y value. Okay, hopefully that answered all your questions. If not, feel free to ask, and guess what? That's the last page of your notes for Unit 6. So if you're doing these videos, you're just about getting done. So you got a quiz to do, you got a review to do, and a unit test. So keep on going. Good job.